What are we talking about?
All right, this is the Human Now podcast. Tweets.
Take one.
All right, hello and welcome to the Human Now. We'll be discussing ideas around what it means to be in this state of time. My name is Akash, and today I'm joined by Minish, Curry, and Perry.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish, Akash. But Kanye West is the best tweeter of all time. That's all I got. I'm done.
And we out.
Yeah, this is where I storm off stage. I'm not allowed to drop this mic, I've been told. So, so we're talking about Kanye West
Kanye West.
Yep.
and his madness. Some say madness, some say genius.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Going around quickly. Madness or genius?
Misunderstood genius.
Oh.
Ooh. Curry,
Genius.
Perry.
Yeah, genius.
I'd say genius too.
Cool. Done.
Dunskies.
Misunderstood.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason I say that is
Yeah.
that I can't remember the thing. So he did an interview with Charlemagne the God.
Yep.
Just before that,
On Hot 97, but it wasn't just Charlemagne.
no,
was it?
the one
Oh,
that
you're
with
talking
the
about
black
just
and white.
Charlemagne? Yeah,
that-
yeah.
yeah, you know that one,
Yep.
right?
Racist.
Huh?
You said the black one.
No, it's the black and white one because it was.
Yeah,
like-
this is when he was up in Wyoming.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there was something that
That's
happened
on his
before
property.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
There was
yeah,
a
yeah.
real, controversial thing that Kanye
The
did.
TMZ thing, isn't it?
Was it before
slavery
TMZ?
is a choice? Yes.
Mm.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay. So did that.
That
Made
was
a comment.
and so he said slavery is a choice. Then he went to TMZ and went off
Yes.
that Van. What's his name?
Van Jones.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he went to he did the interview with Charlemagne the God, right? So one of the things that Charlemagne the God said is that you say all these things, you're thinking all these things, right? And in your head, it's it makes sense. It's right or wrong, whatever it is. But the way that you're, when you just give a small blurb from your big thought of ideas, it comes out wrong. Yeah. So that the stuff that he was saying, he was like, he explained it. I can't remember if he explained it in the interview or not. But when he explains it, then it's like, oh, yep, okay. There's an element of truth to it, or there's an element of there's an understanding from that. Yes, the media makes a big deal about like a 2-second clip that he might say or whatever, right? But the reason I would say that he's misunderstood is because, yeah, he has the ability to just like say what he feels, but not give us an understanding of what he means and what he says.
Correct.
Anyone else?
And the reason that and again Charlemagne said that the reason that that's dangerous is because he's got such a big platform. When he's misunderstood, it's not just it could have real consequences in the real world. When if and when he's misunderstood.
I agree.
Yeah, sorry for cutting you off before. What's
I
your
wasn't
favorite?
gonna
What's
say
your favorite Kanye song?
Nah. What's yours? What's yours?
I just want to know.
Nah, what's yours? What's yours?
Okay, so all fans of Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minish.
Yeah.
I listen to his music.
Do you?
The ones that you guys linked in the put a link to in the WhatsApp group.
What were we gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say that I feel like because, like, even though we don't actually know him, but I feel like we kind of understand him, or like we know what he's like, that we see him as a genius. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I feel like based on his music, and some interviews, I think we can sort of understand what his intention is.
Yeah.
And therefore we see genius. Whereas I think, but again, he does some stupid stuff. Like
Yeah.
So my issue with Kanye West is that what he's trying to do is absolutely right. Again, how he's doing it is wrong. But also he'll talk about stuff where he's like just uneducated about, like he just doesn't know what's going on, and he'll just like go and talk about it, and like that's where it's easy for haters to jump on and be like,
Yep.
Kanye West is an idiot. I know he was like, he's talked about loving loving Donald Trump and Donald Trump's great and wearing the MAGA hat and then someone asked him about the Muslim ban or the travel ban rather. Like, what do you think about it? And he's like, he like had no idea what they were talking about. So it was like those sorts of things where he like doesn't have a full understanding of, and even what's just come out now with the 13th Amendment, and him not having a full understanding, or well, he had an understanding, but he didn't have an understanding enough to say to clarify what
explain.
he explain what exactly what he was trying
in
to say.
In his defense, there's that other clip that came out, like I don't know, a couple of days later or whatever, where he said, someone asked him, "What did you mean by that?"
Yeah,
and he said, "I can't tell you right now."
Yes,
I can't,
yes,
I haven't. You know, you can't put me on the spot like this. I don't have enough information to give you an answer on what I actually meant by that. I'll tell you tomorrow, sort of thing.
Yeah, he actually said, he was like, I'm going to go away, research.
There's a
this and then come
TMZ
back.
one, right?
Yeah.
And then he sat down with I forget his
Harvey.
name, Harvey from TMZ,
Yeah.
the head there, and he
done a-
he pulled out his phone and he like
Oh,
read
yeah.
exactly
Okay.
what he wanted to say, and
Yeah.
so I mean like this guy's just stating his opinion, but again, his platform, his influence is so massive that there's got to be a certain point where you can't make mistakes like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Okay.
where he's wrong in not having a completely well-rounded thought before he starts to go off and
What are the Kanye fundamentals that you agree with? Because you said as a person.
okay, so I mean like outside of music and fashion and all that sort
Or
of
just
stuff, right?
whatever. Yeah.
So I mean I'm a huge fan of Kanye.
Yep.
Kanye was probably like outside of I'm forgetting the group name now. Bone Thugs and Harmony. When I was like a little kid, I had a cassette tape. That was the first rap I ever heard.
Nice.
And then from then it was like I feel like Kanye was the one that really got me into understanding hip hop and rap music.
Okay.
Right. And then I was able to go back and all that. So I absolutely love Kanye. Jesus Walks is the best Kanye West song of all time. Probably one of the best hip hop songs, most influential hip hop songs of all time. I'm like happy to say that. And then his fashion and what he does there is like amazing. What he's done with Adidas is amazing. What he's done with what he had done with Nike, all of that stuff is like he's a genius in that sense, right? He talked about again. I think this was back when he did the very first. What was the very first one that we said?
Charlemagne.
Yeah, but before that, what did he say?
The slavery.
The slavery thing, and then he
Yep.
talked about love can conquer
Yep.
everything, or conquer all, heals everything. That's like
Mm.
what he's saying is absolutely right.
Mm.
Like it can,
Mm.
but again, the way he was doing it was like,
Yeah.
he's wrong in that sense. But I don't think I think fundamentally what he's trying to do is the right thing,
Which is.
which is trying to create equality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's not saying, what my understanding of what he's saying is that like he's like he's not pro black,
Mm-hmm.
but he's also not, but also by supporting Donald Trump, he's not trying to say that he's pro white or against black. I believe he's saying equality for all.
He tweeted about that and he was like, I'm not a black man, I'm just a very, very dark skinned white man. Or something like that. But it was along those lines and I was just like, what?
Probably stupid for saying that, but I don't think like I said, I don't think he's not pro black, he's not pro white, he's not anti black, he's not anti white. He's just saying
He's
love
neutral.
conquers all.
Yeah.
This is what we just need to make America great again. And because that is linked with Donald Trump, like
Yeah. You get all that.
and because of I believe where again this is my understanding of it, where the make America great again and where Donald Trump came up with that was like when America was like very one colored, if you like, and you know like there wasn't variety or there wasn't
Yeah.
you know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, I've only listened to a few Kanye interviews
Yep.
and songs.
Yeah.
But like with those interviews, there is a very deep understanding of life.
Mm.
And
He's
that's
very
what.
introspective.
Yeah.
Very
He
much
is.
so.
He is.
Yeah.
And he like, if you filter through all the crap, all the hype
Yeah.
and all of that sort of stuff, right? Yeah, there is a very like he's got some life views which I think are like which I think are important, like the whole doing what you love. Like he's essentially an essence of that, you know.
Yep.
And he does, he talks about love a lot.
Mhm.
He talks about how we're humans.
Yeah.
He talks about that I would say he
Yeah.
talks about that quite a lot.
And even probably not a wise thing for me to say, but even with the slavery thing,
Yeah.
like he's not what he's talking about is not the institute of having what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right? Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
owning
Yeah.
a black person or whatever. He's talking about you being an
Yeah.
internal slave to yourself,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
to society, or
Yeah.
to corporates, and to
Yeah.
this and that.
So again, so using that in that context that you just said
Yeah,
is
he's correct.
is absolutely right. You
Yeah.
know, like just the way he had said it and the context that he used and the example that he used at that point in time.
He
Yeah,
says slavery is a choice. Yeah,
yeah, slavery was a choice,
Yeah.
and he said slavery was a choice back then.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
right, like that. Yeah,
Which it wasn't.
yeah, exactly. So, but when he explained it,
Yeah,
and when you sort of link it to today's, what we are a slave of today, and what we are a slave of today by choice, then it's like, holy shit, he's right.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite Kanye West song?
The one he did with Rihanna.
Just
Which
like
which
you heard it
was?
before.
Which was?
The one we were listening to before.
And like, I don't like, and I think he's aware enough to know that racism still exists and all that. Sort
Yeah,
of stuff. Like,
yeah.
he's not.
And he is trying to.
I think that's what he's trying to battle. And
Yeah, yeah.
he's a modern day Robin Hood.
Mm.
I mean, one of my favorite lyrics is that, or not favorite lyric, but like one that I remember sticks out quite a lot is he goes, "Racism is still alive. They just be concealing it."
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Yep. Mm.
yeah. But yeah, do you want to say anything? No? Hmm?
I was just gonna say I agree with you guys. I feel like he sees it in the bigger, or like just on such a bigger and a higher scale that like most people just don't have mental capacity to understand what he's
Mm.
what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And then things like the media and stuff just
Yeah.
it can all come across like really blasé and
Yep. Just for the clicks.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how many people are like saying that he's doing it for album sales and clothes sales and attention and this and that, which is there probably is
There's an element of that,
an
but
element of
that's-
that, but that's not why. That's not
Mm.
the driving force behind all of
Mm.
this. And then also again, it's easy for us to say sitting halfway around the world but like slavery and what's happening in America and
Racism,
Donald Trump is like
Yeah.
such a huge thing there.
Mm.
So like people are on edge. People are like
Mm.
looking to people with a voice and saying that, like what they say has a huge effect
Yep.
and huge impact on
Yeah.
society there. And so it is very different for us to
Mm.
sit here and
Yeah.
say stuff. But yeah, what do you think?
No, I agree.
What's your favorite Kanye West song?
I think I think Power. Yeah, I think Power would be my favorite. Yeah. Do you know that song?
Go sing it.
Nah, don't-
Give us the hook.
can't sing. Can't rap.
What's yours?
Probably Stronger,
Oh, yeah.
just 'cause it got a bit of Daft Funk.
Yours,
It's
Perry?
his favorite. I said Jesus Walks probably.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
My
Yeah.
favorite. But yeah, I like all of them.
Yeah.
I think I like a lot of his old stuff more.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I'm not really.
I feel like his new stuff's a lot more real. Like, not real, but like more.
He's ahead of the game.
Yeah.
We'll come back to it in 10 years and be like, man, this is such
Yeah,
an
yeah,
amazing
yeah.
album. Yeah, I think we got to give him props for what he's been able to do with his career.
Mm.
Mm.
What he's had to go through.
Yep.
even coming up, like there's like a lot of pushback on his career and him not getting the right props for being the amazing rapper that he is, and just looked at as a producer and this and that. He's had a lot of like things that he had come through. Losing his mum obviously was a huge thing for him. So, yeah, I think we should. Like I said, I love Kanye West. He's always like, I'm always going to love Kanye West, and so yeah. Yep. He's the man, Mr. Kim Kardashian.
Ouch.
He's a confident person. That's the last thing I want to say. Probably not, but
I think that's what I like the most about him.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like his confidence the most, and I feel like I relate to that,
Yeah.
so I like it the most.
Yeah, because when you talked about what your human was, you were talking about being
Yeah,
unapologetically
unapologetically
yourself.
yourself.
And Kanye West
Is that
absolutely unapologetically
himself?
himself.
Yeah, I don't think he cares about what other people think
Yeah.
about him. Do you feel?
No.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that about him. So good.
Yep. Just Kanye West, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Just
Come visit
Hook
us
us up
in New
with some
Zealand, man.
shoes. Just come
no,
visit.
just
a like.
just like understand that you have like he's actually listening, that you have a voice and a very important voice, and to just be educated and make educated critical thinking and just make educated decisions before you tweet something or say something, because of you have a voice, Mr. Kanye West.
Mr. Kanye West. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know what else. I could like go on forever about.
Do you have a favorite tweet or
a favorite tweet? No.
or favorite thing he says?
I'm not really Twitter.
Oh. I think my favorite one that I like read so far is that he was like, you can say anything if you put the right emoji next to it. It's like, that is so true. Like you can say anything you want to someone if you just put the right emoji, and then they just take it in a whole other way. Yeah.
What I appreciate about him is just how he, like you said, he's forward thinking and
Absolutely.
just
yeah.
pushing the boundaries of what is so easily considered to be normal and safe. You know, he's just going against the grain and doing his own thing, and because that doesn't conform to what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, it's
the modern day Renaissance, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Wrap it up.
Sweet.
Will you go home and listen to his music now?
Maybe not. It's the podcast instead. I don't know. Or needs to ZB.
Sweet. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in. That was Kanye West. I enjoyed that. That was good. Thank you guys for
I like
coming
Big
along.
Brother. Big Brother is also a very good song. Sorry, carry on. I'm just gonna cut in my favorite songs.
Thank you very much, Ortex, for hooking it up with the acoustic board. Thank you very much, Roshan, for doing what you do. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're listening on the podcast or on YouTube, if you got anything that you'd like us to speak about, or you want to be a part of the conversation, please do get in touch with us at info@thehumannow.co.nz. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, be human, be now.